What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to share with you 3 recent returns that I got back in the mail. These are all Baltimore Orioles, or former Baltimore Orioles I should say. A couple of these actually had fathers that played Major League Baseball as well. And I guess I'm a little bit late. I should have showed this before Father's Day, but I'm close. So we'll just share them with you today. And the first return, I've actually featured his father on my channel before. It comes back from former Orioles relief pitcher John O'Donohue Jr. or John O'Donohue. And if you recall, I will post it up here in the corner at the end of this video and also down in the description. I showed off his father's autographs a little while back, so if you get a chance, definitely check out that. But we're going to talk about this John O'Donohue and his career in baseball. John Preston O'Donohue is the son of John Eugene O'Donohue, and he is a 6'6" left-handed pitcher that came up through the Orioles system. O'Donohue grew up in Maryland, where he attended high school in Maryland, and he would later go on to play at the prestigious Louisiana State University as a pitcher. Going undrafted in the 1990 draft, O'Donohue would sign with the Baltimore Orioles as a minor league free agent. His first year in 1990, he would be assigned to rookie ball, where he would post a 4-3 record in 11 games, garnering a promotion to high A by the end of the season. He would start the 1991 season in high A as well, where he would appear in 22 games, starting 21 of them, posting a 7-8 record. The following year, he would be promoted in 1992 to Double A, and he would split time between Double A and Triple A, finishing the season with a 12-8 record and a 2.62 ERA in 30 games. In 1993, he would be assigned again to Triple A, and he would post a 7-4 record in 22 games for the Orioles that year. During the 1993 season, on June 27th, John would get called up to the major leagues, and at 24 years old, John would make his major league debut with the Orioles. He would bounce back and forth between the Orioles, AAA, and Major League affiliate that season in 1993, and then would be assigned to their AAA affiliate in 1994. John would finish the year in 1994, which was strike shortened. Well, after the conclusion of the 1994 season, the Los Angeles Dodgers would trade him on December 19th, 1994 to the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers did not find a place for him on their major league roster in 1995, and instead he spent the entire season, 18 games, in their AAA affiliate. After the Dodgers would finish up with the 1995 season, he would then sign with the Texas Rangers, and he would split the 1996 season pitching for the Rangers minor league affiliate, as well as returning to Baltimore for his final season in professional baseball. After his playing career, I'm not really sure what John wound up doing after he was out of baseball. However, he did wind up having his jersey retired by his former high school in 2021. So I want to thank John for signing for me. Again, I don't know much about his post-playing career. He only appeared in a handful of games in the major leagues, but he joins the list of father-son major leaguers, regardless of how many games he appeared in. Obviously, his father appeared in a lot more games than he did, but I'm hoping that maybe I can get Mike Okist to sign this as well. John was not in the all-time Orioles set, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in the video in a second, because that set came out before John was in the major leagues. So we'll move on to the next one. All right, this next one is another father-son major league duo, and I needed this one for my Orioles set, and that is former Baltimore Orioles great / Met / a lot of things, David Segui on 4 of 4, and as you can see, I got the all-time Orioles card signed as well. So let me tell you about David Segui and his career in baseball. David Segui is the son of former Major League pitcher Diego Segui, which I've also done a video on before. So again, that will be linked down below if you'd like to see it. And he was actually born in Kansas City while his father was pitching for the Kansas City A's. He played his collegiate baseball for Louisiana Tech and also the Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Segui was drafted in the 18th round of the 1987 MLB draft out of Louisiana Tech University. In 1988, he appeared in his first full season as a minor leaguer at 21 years old, appearing in 60 games for the Orioles A affiliate. The following year in 1989, he would split time between A ball and Double A for the Orioles, where he would post a .319 batting average and 11 home runs between those two stops. In 1990, he would be promoted to Triple A, and he would appear in 86 games in Triple A, posting a .336 batting average. Well, this batting average obviously was a compiled season, but on May 8th of 1990, Segui would be called up to the major leagues, and he would make his major league debut for the Orioles. He would appear in just 40 games that year for the Orioles in 1990, taking the bulk of the time in AAA, and he would post a .244 batting average. In 1991, he would again spend 28 games in AAA. However, in 91, he would spend 86 games in the majors, manning first base for the Baltimore Orioles. In 1992, the job was primarily his, where he posted a .233 batting average in 115 games for the Orioles that season. In 1993, he would return as a full-time player, and this time he would, at this point, have a career high in 10 home runs with a .273 batting average. Well, right before the 1994 season, the Baltimore Orioles decided to trade Segui to the New York Mets for minor leaguer and infielder Kevin Baez. It was with the Mets that he would appear in 92 games as a switch-hitting infielder, and he would post a .241 batting average and again would hit 2 home runs. He would start 1995 with the Mets. However, midway through the season, they would trade him to the Montreal Expos, where he would finish out the season as the Expos' full-time first baseman. With the Expos that year, he batted .305 and posted 10 home runs. In 1996, he would be the full-time first baseman for the Expos. In 115 games, he would post a .286 batting average and hit 11 home runs. 1997 be more of the same. Segui manning first base for the Expos, but this time he posted a .307 batting average and hit 21 home runs. Well, after the conclusion of the 97 season, he decided to sign as a free agent with the Seattle Mariners. David would man first base for the Mariners and appear in 143 games, posting a .305 batting average and hitting 19 home runs his first year in Seattle. The following year, in 1999, he would appear in 90 games with the Mariners before they decided to trade him to the Toronto Blue Jays for a combined amount of 121 games played between the two that season. Planning to return after the 99 season to the Blue Jays instead traded him to the Texas Rangers, where he would spend one season in Texas for 93 games before being shipped to Cleveland to finish out the year for 57 games. Well, after the 2000 season concluded, David decided to return home to where it all began and sign with the Baltimore Orioles for a second stint in his career. At this point, Segui was primarily used as a backup infielder, pinch hitter, also a DH at that time, and he appeared in 82 games for the Orioles in 2001. He would continue this type of role as a type of platoon bench player, appearing in 26 games in 2002, 67 games in 2003, and finally 18 games in 2004 at the age of 37 before he hung up the cleats. In total, David Segui played 15 years in the major leagues, hit 139 home runs, and a career batting average of .291. So again, very happy to add David Segui to the collection, especially the all-time Orioles card, and we'll move on to the final return. All right, so this one's returned from Montana, and when I opened up the package, I kind of made a blunder as I realized that when I wrote Jeff Ballard, I forgot to include my all-time Orioles card. And at first I'm like, oh man, did he keep my Orioles card? Because Normally when I write somebody, I include their all-time Orioles card to get signed. And I went to go check my set, and there it was. So that is the drawback of sometimes stuffing envelopes when either A, I was probably watching baseball or something on television, or B, I was really tired doing it, in the wee morning hours, putting my envelopes together, not realizing, duh, this guy's an all-time Oriole, why didn't I send him the card? So, regardless, still happy to get 4 back, despite not getting the all-time Orioles card signed. So I'll have to put that in the mail some other time maybe to him. But let me tell you about Jeff Ballard and his career in baseball. Jeff Ballard was a Montana native, and he was originally drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers out of high school in Billings, Montana. Jeff decided not to sign with the Milwaukee Brewers and instead enrolled at Stanford University and played college baseball for the Stanford Cardinal. The Baltimore Orioles selected Jeff in the 27th round of the 1984 MLB draft out of Stanford. Before turning pro, Jeff pitched for Orleans in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Once he turned pro, he was assigned to the Orioles low A affiliate, where he posted a 10-2 record in 13 games with a 1.41 ERA. In 1986, he would start the season in high A, but by the end of the year, he was in triple A. He posted a 14-9 record with the 2.53 ERA in 29 games started in his 1986 season between those 3 stops. In 1987, he would start on fire at AAA, posting a 13-4 record in 23 games with their AAA affiliate. Well, as you know, the Orioles had a pretty bad record in 1987 and 88, and Jeff, as a rookie, got called up to the major leagues, and in May of that year, he got to make his debut. Well, his record at the major league level was just 2-8 in 1987. Well, despite the 2-8 record, again, these 88 Orioles weren't that great. He made the club out of spring training, and he started 25 games in 1988 for the Orioles, posting an 8-12 record. Well, things would turn around with the Orioles. Frank Robinson would take over the managerial duties, and in 1989, Jeff Ballard came out of nowhere. The previous year, 8-12 record, and will post an 18-8 record, making his first All-Star team. 35 games started with a 3.43 ERA. Well, this was just an amazing season for Ballard, and unfortunately in 1990, the wheels kind of fell off. Ballard started 17 games for the Orioles that year, but by the end of the season, he was delegated to bullpen duties as his record slipped from 18-8 to a very poor record of just 2 wins and 11 losses with a 4.93 ERA. Well, coming back in 1991, he tried to bounce back. However, his major league record was just 6-12, and he was actually demoted to spend some time in AAA for the Orioles that year. After the 1991 season was concluded, Ballard decided to sign with the St. Louis Cardinals, and they assigned him to their AAA affiliate. Well, Ballard did post some very solid numbers in AAA for the Cardinals. In 24 starts, he posted a 12-8 record with a 2.52 ERA. But despite this spectacular record, the Cardinals did not call him up to the majors and instead granted him his free agency after the 92 season. Ballard would then move back east and sign with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And at this point, the Pirates did put him in their AAA affiliate as a starter, and he posted a 6-1 record with the 2.29 ERA in 1993 in AAA, which got him a call-up to the major leagues, where he appeared in 25 games, primarily as a reliever, but he did start 5 as a spot starter, and he posted a 4-1 record with the Pirates in 1993. Well, going into the 1994 season, he again would split time at the major league level between the Pirates and their AAA affiliate. He would appear in 28 games strictly as a lefty reliever for the Pirates in 1994, posting a 1-1 record. Well, as I've talked about many times in this video, the 1994 strike happened, and when Jeff came back in 1995, there were no job offers for him. During the offseason in 1994 going into 1995, he was in a car accident that actually messed up a little bit of his pitching arm, and he decided to retire from baseball after recovering from that. In January of '96, he began working for his father and with his brother at Ballard Petroleum Holdings back home in Montana. So Ballard is literally one of those guys that just had one of those exceptional seasons. I mean, the guy finished in the top voting for the Cy Young Award in his 1989 season, and unfortunately, wheels just fell off, and he was never able to recover, to that level of that 18-win season that he had in the past. So I want to thank Mr. Ballard for signing for me. I want to thank Mr. Segui as well for adding one more to my all-time Orioles collection. Like I said, I probably will send Jeff that card again in the future. No hurry though on that. I also want to thank Mr. O'Donohue for signing for me. And again, I had this set, so that was a good addition to that All-Star set. But I also might look at sending this to Mike Okist, who he shares a card with, because I have seen that he does sign through the mail. So hopefully you'll be seeing that one back here really soon in a future episode. I look forward to your comments. And as always, happy collecting.